Hello and welcome to the GREATIC YouTube channel.
Android boxes have long been established as a means for wider TV viewing, from cable to satellite. Now Android boxes are at the fore of TV streaming as smart devices that can not only allow for IPTV viewing in HD, but also serve as gaming and entertainment centers. The best Android boxes are incredibly versatile devices. Plug one into a TV, and you've suddenly got a smart device that has access to all the latest streaming services. Like Netflix and Disney Plus, the best Android boxes are also impressively powerful, so you could hook one up to a monitor and use it as a mini PC. These make them great affordable alternatives to big and bulky desktop PCs because of their small size. They can be hidden away behind a screen or even attached to it, which means they are great choices for powering interactive displays, adverts, and points of sale. Android boxes have also become very popular as Kodi streaming devices, to such an extent that Android boxes have almost become synonymous with Kodi boxes. But unlike the latter, Android boxes are more versatile and don't suffer the bane of being tied to customized user interfaces or Android builds. So, after research and technical advice, GREATIC lists the best Android TV boxes you can buy in 2023, so let's start. Top 3 best Android TV boxes of 2023 you can buy today. Number 3. MeCool KM2 Plus Smart TV Box. MeCool has recently had a run of Android TV and Google TV devices. The company has an array of options in its lineup now, the latest addition being the KM2 Plus streaming box. This new Android TV unit has some perks over some of the other streamers from MeCool. Around the left side of the MeCool KM2 Plus are some inputs. This includes a USB-A 2.0, USB-A 3.0, and a microSD slot. The back of the unit houses several other ports. You'll find AV and optical audio inputs. There is also an Ethernet jack, HDMI out, and a DC power port. The MeCool KM2 Plus runs Android TV 11 and handles it very well. While I prefer the latest Google TV like the KD3 TV Stick, we also know Google is slowly rolling that certification process and simply may have not been an option for MeCool at launch. Otherwise, any previous Android TV users will find themselves right at home. You get Google's intuitive UI home screen that leverage Google Assistant for content recommendations and voice search. The UI is still crisp, clean, and modern for TV use. With 16 GB of mass storage, consumers have a lot more wiggle room after initially installing all their streaming options. This can still be expanded via the USB and SD slots, but having that built-in just makes more sense. The heart of the MeCool KM2 Plus is the Amlogic S905X4B CPU. The Minix U22XJ has nearly identical performance and is Google/Netflix certified, so you'll be able to stream 4K video on both apps. We're about to review the MeCool KM2 Plus. This compact set-top box runs the Android 11.0 operating system. It supports any Android-compatible streaming app and even many Android games. The MeCool KM2 Plus has a black plastic housing that matches the black finish on most modern electronics. It's a flat square, measuring 3.85 inches to the side and 0.8 inches thick. The corners are rounded off, which gives it a sleek, modern design. On the top, there's a large silver disc with an engraved MeCool imprint. This device is controlled by a simple handheld remote. The remote is like a TV remote in that it needs a clear line of sight to function. There's a set of menu navigation buttons and volume, channel, and mute buttons. Underneath is a set of 4 shortcut buttons. These buttons will instantly launch YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Google Play respectively. The KM2 Plus is compelling. The great remote and the full array of expansion ports make it one of the more complete Google-powered units on the market. Overall, at a time when many manufacturers are giving up on Android TV boxes, the MeCool KM2 Plus is an exciting new entry that deserves a look. Number 2. Amazon Fire TV Cube. The new third-generation Fire TV Cube is Amazon's fastest, most capable streaming player yet. Like its predecessors, the Cube is a hybrid Echo speaker and Fire TV that aims to provide the best of both worlds. Hands-free Alexa voice commands are always at your disposal, and it supports 4K streaming in all the popular HDR formats, including Dolby Vision. With the latest model, Amazon has tossed in a more powerful processor, speedier connectivity with Wi-Fi 6E, and there's a new HDMI input that lets you run cable boxes or gaming consoles through the Fire TV Cube. This makes it possible to see overlays on screen when you do things like ask Alexa for the weather or want to see a camera feed around your home. The Fire TV Cube hardware has gotten the same mesh fabric makeover around 3 sides as Amazon's Echo speakers. And while this can pose some cleaning challenges, I think it looks much better than the previous glossy design. There are still physical buttons on top, with an Alexa LED strip running around the upper perimeter. I/O around the back includes HDMI in and HDMI out plus new Ethernet and USB ports. The latter is definitely better than the micro USB port on the previous model, and it's nice no longer needing any adapters for Ethernet, even if it's only a 10100 port. I prefer the remote in most cases, but there's something to be said for the convenience of asking the Fire TV Cube to turn on my TV and jump right into Sling TV if that remote is across the room. Using Fire TV OS, a variation of Android, Amazon's newest Fire TV Cube is, by far, our favorite Amazon streaming device. Better in so many ways than the Amazon Fire TV Cube that was released in 2017. The processor upgrade and inclusion of Dolby Vision are great new additions, and, in spite of a few shortcomings, help solidify the Cube spot as one of the best streaming players to be released this year. The Fire TV Cube has always been rock solid in terms of performance, but the latest version introduces a number of upgrades that make it even faster. Going from a show on Netflix, back to the home screen, and into a movie on Amazon takes a matter of seconds, with basically zero pop-in issues along the way. In fact, thanks to the 802.11 AC Wi-Fi antenna, and with connections higher than 15 megabits per second, videos probably won't even need to buffer. They'll just start playing as soon as you select them. Yes, technically speaking, you could do almost everything the Fire TV Cube does with an Amazon Echo Dot and Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K, but the hexa-core processor-powered box moves faster and creates fewer frustrations. It's cliché to say, but the Fire TV Cube is more than the sum of its parts. This one provides the best overall experience. Number 1. Nvidia Shield TV Pro Android TV Box. Nvidia last updated its long-lived family of Android TV boxes in 2019, adding a very unboxy-based model Shield. That device is still among the most powerful media streamers you can get, even with its 32-bit limitations. The Nvidia Shield Pro looks like a piece that fell off a stealth aircraft, sleek black with a faceted surface and little in the way of branding. The panels are a mix of glossy and textured. It's not quirky enough that it wouldn't seem out of place in your living room, but it does look distinctive up closely. There is a pronounced glowing green line on the top, but you can dim it in the settings. The box, or wedge, can lay flat, or you can prop it up on its end with a Shield stand, which annoyingly is not included with the device. Around the back, the Shield Pro has more connection options than other media streamers. There's a gigabit Ethernet port, an HDMI 2.0B, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and a power outlet that looks like a USB-C but isn't. The Shield Pro shows its age a bit with the lack of USB-C for either power or data, but I'm not going to scoff at 2 high-speed USB ports, even if they're USB-A. There's also a small cooling vent on the rear. It uses regular A batteries, which is preferable for remote control in my experience. I also like that the buttons are backlit and illuminate automatically when you pick up the remote. However, it's so sensitive that just setting something down on a table next to the remote will cause it to light up. I can't imagine that being good for battery life. I'm not a fan of the button layout, which has no rhyme or reason. The Netflix button is also too large and easy to trigger accidentally. I was initially feeling positive about the Toblerone-like shape, but it seems even better than the average remote at burrowing into my couch cushions. The Shield runs Android TV, which looks a lot more like Google TV these days, but that is actually just Android TV with a different skin. Yes, it's confusing, and it's not Nvidia's fault. You can blame Google, but Nvidia is doing the best it can under the circumstances, rolling out major OS updates to its Shield boxes for years after release. The latest Nvidia Shield Pro doesn't do much new, but doesn't have to in order to remain the best streaming box and retro gaming machine out there. An Android-powered set-top box/games console, it's about as powerful as streaming devices come, and is jam-packed with features that will tempt movie and video game fans alike. It's worth noting that all this can be browsed using voice commands from within any section of the interface or from inside an app. With the included remote featuring a mic, Google Assistant is the native voice butler built in, but the Nvidia Shield TV Pro can be controlled with Amazon's Alexa devices too. As such, the Shield TV Pro is an effective smart home hub, as well as being a media player and gaming box. It also means the Shield now supports both of Dolby's premium cinema formats, including Dolby Atmos audio, which can make sounds appear to come from behind and above a movie viewer, as well as in front, for a truly immersive experience, provided you've got compatible speaker gear hooked up to your TV. It's unrivaled when it comes to its 4K HDR streaming capabilities, has wide app support thanks to its Android TV foundations, and is littered with potential for gamers, whether playing games stored locally on the device or over the net through the GeForce Now service. So, it is one of the best Android TV box of 2023 you can buy. For more information, follow the links in the description. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel and like the videos.